Hey guys, Cosmic here. Today we shall be going through some Minecraft 1.14 building tips and tricks. I will only be showing some of the blocks added into Minecraft 1.14 in a short series. I hope you enjoyed the video and let's get right into it. First up is the barrel. The barrel is a storage block with quite an interesting texture. I've used it here as a door for some kind of fort or even castle. I've used leads as ropes, as you can see here, and use an easy accessible mob like chickens. Next up we have wine crates. This is a quite atmospheric build and you can take it to the next level by putting some potions into the barrel. It just ties the build together and it can be used as potion storage. Next up, we have a build for more attic or even a mine shaft. You can use the barrel as flooring or even as a roof. You can use the barrels for a storage system well hidden, or you can do what I did and just place some chests down. And it makes a quite good build. That's all for the barrels. Next up, we have the composter. The composter is a block used in farming. If you put vegetation into it, then there shall be coming out bone meal. It can be used for white dye or bone meal farm. Very useful. It has a quite tropical texture, which gave me the inspiration of making a palm tree. It looks much better than its strip log equivalent and can be used in various jungle or beach builds. The next build is quite silly and it's a toilet. If you put vegetation into the toilet, then it looks not as clean as a flush toilet. That's all I'm going to say. If you fill it to the brim with vegetation, it will look like there is toilet paper also into the mix. As you can see, it's out of order, this toilet. Fixed. Thank goodness. The next trick is not that useful, but it can be used. You use the bottom part of the barrel. It has a quite interesting texture and looks just a little bit more solid than, for example, jungle planks. It can be used in various roofs and any build that you like. I've used it here in a shopping stand, but you can do anything. Your imagination is the limit. Here we have composters mixed in with barrels. It makes a quite interesting build, I'd say. And by putting trapdoors on the composter, it looks like you've made another variant of a barrel. You can also take away the trapdoor and make it look like empty barrels. Next up we have the campfire. The campfire is a block that's used for cooking various food items, but what interests me most is the smoke signal that it produces. You can use this as a chimney or anything else in your builds, as I have done here. If you use some smooth stone and also, of course, rails, then you can make a quite interesting looking roof for any kind of city build, and the smoke makes it look really polluted, if that's the look that you're going for. The next build is, quite interestingly enough, a sauna. By using the smoke effect and putting it under a block which has water above it, it looks like the water is evaporating and creating steam. You can also take this to another level and put a cauldron above the campfire. It makes it look like the water is boiling inside of it. It's a quite atmospheric build, just like the wine crates. The next build is quite like the first campfire trick, but it just has a more homely effect by putting a chimney above a small, innocent little hut. You can create a quite nice effect. Oh, this build here, and it's a very big build, I've noticed that before, is a ginormous, really, ginormous furnace. I've done this by putting campfires at the top and then putting campfires at the bottom. It looks like the smoke is coming from the bottom campfires and has a quite interesting effect. I've put lava and glass in the middle just for some extra effects. Next is the lectern. The lectern is a beautiful block, if I say it myself. It has an interesting texture, which, as you probably know by now, I love, and is used for, as you've just seen before, holding books. It has almost a pillar texture, which is not as thick as normal blocks, but also not too thin like the fence post, for example. You can put a book above it, just like this, as I said earlier, and you can surround the lectern and a few other oak blocks with trapdoors, and it makes a quite neat study. You can also use this in an office, and the desk looks great with some bamboo. Next up is a library. I love this. We've used the lectern as pillars, which is quite interesting, but it works. If you add ladders to the mix, then it just gives a lot more atmosphere to the build. I've used mostly normal oak, but it works and it's still a beautiful block. We all still love you, oak. If you put a few bookshelves in the middle with half slabs on the top, then it looks like a small book stand. And that's all. This is the last build. I hope you enjoy it. Please leave a like and subscribe. Watch the next video, and goodbye. I hope you enjoyed the video.